Hey there, folks, and welcome. And what I'm going to do is, in the next couple of minutes, I plan to go through, my simulator setup that I've got here at the end of 2023. Starting off with, in fact, I've got something new in the background, the reason why I wanted to do this. So, Fanatec Club Sport V3s, I'm about to unpack them and probably do them as like a kind of start of 2024 thing. But I wanted to say about what I've got right now. So, new webcam, Logitech Brio. I'm still trying to figure this out because the anti-flicker is quite poor on it. I've got a USB 3.1 cable that I've put in aftermarket, and that still hasn't fixed the anti-flicker issue. So if anybody knows how to deal with that, I'd really like to know. Because honestly, if the camera's 4K and does 1080p 60, that's fantastic. But this kind of flicker on the screen, it's just... I'm surprised, really, because let's go to my old webcam, which I used to show the rest of the C920, and feels like the picture's much crisper, even though this one here only does 1080p 30 than this one. So that's why I need help with that. But anyway, the rest of the rig. So, Fanatec CSL-DD 8N to pick this up in 2021. I've got two wheel rims for it. I've got the Formula 2.5X, picked up second hand with advanced paddle module. I really enjoy this thing, especially the APM. I find that that's really useful having a dual clutch, and especially for the kind of realism of it. Outside of that, my pedals that I'm now changing over to the 5s is PSL LCs. They are actually quite dependable. They've been probably the most reliable pedals that I've had. I had G29 pedals and TLCMs, both of which broke on me. Going to the rest of this rig here is a SimHound rig with a custom seat on it. I picked that up in 2022, and again, that's been quite dependable. The only other stuff that we've got here is SimMagic. Is this the TB1? Load cell handbrake rated up to 100 kilo. I found that there started to be a bit of play recently here, but a dead zone has meant that it's not, deploying it. And I also have quite a low rating because I want this to be full force. I don't want to have to go like this all the time. And I think I'm going to have to restart the backing music because we've just run out. So it gives me a bit more time to talk about this thing here, an SHH shifter. Now, I knew some people who recommended the Frostmaster one, some people who recommended the Fanatec one. But a friend of mine recommended try this out. He hadn't actually bought it, but he said he did look at it. This one is the Newt. They've since placed a newer version that also has an 8 that's a bit, I think it's probably a bit wider. The 8-speed can go, well, the 8 gears can go like this, but it can also go out to the left and down. But yeah, 7 plus R, and it's quite easy to shift from H-pan to sequential mode. You just push it down and twist, and then all of a sudden like that. Got two little screws in there, and what you can do is go in there with an Allen key, and it makes the action a bit higher. So it means that it takes a bit more effort to shift the gears. If you want something that does that, then there you go. I've tuned this to my own personal preference, so that I can just quickly shift through the gears without needing to put much effort into it. But yeah, the other wheel rim I've got here is the first one that I got with my CSL-DD. It's a BMW M3 GT2 V2. Now, when I got the APM, I used the additional spaces and put it on these shifters, which means the upshift sometimes sticks. But overall, solid round rim to have, a flat bottom as well, which generally could be quite nice because if I had a completely round rim, especially a bigger one, with the way that this is set up, it would probably collide with my knees. The headphones that I use, I've been using these Frostmaster Ferrari headphones for a while now. I believe they are officially licensed. They're supposed to be the ones that you buy themselves. That's going to be the end of it with that webcam. Now back onto this one. They're quite nice. I don't use the surround sound on it because it's actually alright in stereo. Outside of that, I tend to use like some old JVC ones you can find for like a tenner from Amazon or Argos. Because I batch bought them from Argos before the nearest one went down of business. The microphone I've got here is an Amazon Basics. It's basically a Blue Yeti. I think they do a new one that's USB-C, which has actual tuning knobs on this. This one's got like touchscreen buttons. It doesn't work particularly well. Sometimes it'll just randomly deploy them. And I think I'm going to have to start this again. So, yeah, this has taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But, yeah, I really enjoy this setup. And what it means is I can just pick it up and stick the headphones on. And then all of a sudden, I'm good to go. You've got volume control on here. I usually use a Logitech wireless keyboard, but I've had to put that to one side because the batteries ran out. And then I've got the accompanying mouse. So I don't spend much of my peripherals like that. But inside of the computer I have an i7 9700K, which I picked up in 2019, I think. Been incredibly reliable, would serve me so well. I might have even picked it up in 2018. Somebody on the internet's going to know better than I do about that. And then my graphics card, I've got 4080, which performs quite well, but the problem is when it gets hot, the way that my motherboard is, my motherboard's an ASRock, it directs the heat up onto the M2 slot for hard drive, and my 2TB M2 by Crucial can overheat, which has caused blue screening in the past. You've probably seen it on a few of my live streams, especially when I'm streaming to multiple outputs on something like iRacing. Depending on how intensive it is, it can last between an hour and a half and like 14 hours. Because I think it's lasted 14 hours in Daytona 24 and an hour and a half in the Formula A VIR thing. And then yeah, I've got two monitors, both 24 inches. One's ASC, one's an Acer. Both of them run 1080p 60, so yeah, the graphics card's a bit overkill for that, but it means it's incredibly reliable. Though I am thinking of probably phasing out the Acer one because it's starting to get a lot of flicker on it. So it's sadly, I think, reached the end of its cycle. But yeah, that is my setup for 2023. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to build the Club Sport V3s, put them onto my rig, and probably give them a bit of a go. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for joining, and I hope that this has given you some pointers, and if you'd like me to, I can give you a bit of a talk more from my past in sim racing equipment as well. So thanks for watching, see you again soon, bye for now.